coming up on the Entertainment Zone. The soulfulness of Forrest Black's music comes from an unshakable sense of purpose, a belief in building beauty from life's most painful moments. We had a chance to catch up with him on his most recent tour. Plus, we go behind the scenes with the hilarious cast of the Tony Award-winning Broadway musical, Shucked. A captivating and true story, we sat down with actress Dana Delany on her latest project, Highway Patrol. I'm Front Row Phyllis, and this is the Entertainment Zone. Intricate detail and lucid self-expression best describes the music of our next guest, Forrest Black. Thank you for joining us.
Of course, thank you.
So how's the concert been going? How's the show been going?
It's been amazing to see. Yeah, I mean, it's blowing my mind every single night because, I'm opening for James, which is incredible. I love his music. I've loved his music for a long time. I've just released a brand new EP. I go on the road, and last night, for instance, we played Minneapolis, 1,500 people. Everyone is singing my songs. It's crazy. Every night's been like that.
What's the one song that really gets these fans crazed and out of their seats?
Yeah, I think If You Love Her. But I mean, I've written, 3 or 4 albums. Every single song has its place. It's been wild because every night we'll come back to the bus. I love connecting with my fans, so I always tell them, come to the bus after, I'll play a few songs. And hearing them ask me what songs they want to hear. So last night, people were asking me for Give You Love. Fallen to Me is always a fan favorite. And for this tour in particular, I'm touring the new EP and all the new songs with a couple of the old ones that I love. But every single show has been wild, and watching again, people connect to all of them.
So if you were to collaborate with one person, who would it be?
Only one?
Yeah, just one.
One male, one female, can I pick?
Okay, fine.
All right, I'd probably do Labyrinth and Sia.
Sia.
I love Sia. I've always loved
too.
Sia. But there's so many. I feel like I'm leaving out a million artists.
So can I tell you who I want you to collaborate with?
All right, you tell me.
Teddy Swims.
Okay.
But I could totally
They wouldn't be able to tell us apart.
I know. that's one.
Maybe that would be the music video. We'd cover him up in makeup and put all his tattoos on me, and then.
But I mean,
I love Teddy. He's great.
He's so good. You guys would be. Oh my God! I could just hear a song.
The bitter and the sweet.
Yes.
Yeah.
It would be so good.
I'm in. Teddy, if you hear this, I'm ready to do a collaboration with you.
Yeah, have your people.
Call my people.
Call Forrest's people for sure. I don't know if everybody knows this, is that, you started writing poems when you were a young child.
Yeah.
And then your grandmother gave you your first guitar, at 15? So do you think that she saw this incredible talent in you?
I think she saw an immense amount of love.
Mm-hmm.
I think she always saw potential in me.
Yeah.
Music was never a thing. It wasn't our family wasn't musical.
Okay.
So it wasn't like, oh, you're going to take this on and it's going to work.
Right.
I think she was just trying to give me a break from all the hard stuff and just wanted to give me a gift. Yeah. And I think she hoped that gift would inspire me to become a doctor or a lawyer or something like that. But that guitar spoke to me, and then songs started coming out of me, and poetry was always coming out of me. You know, I mean, I do spoken words. A lot of people don't even know that.
That's incredible, because that is a true gift. That really is.
Yeah. I mean, those spread around the world in a way I never expected. I mean, you've had, Olympians have used them at the Olympics now. The world of dance used it, and they broke all these records, and it's been unreal.
I'm Forrest Black. Thank you so much, everybody.
Shucked, the Tony Award-winning hilarious new musical about corn and a whole lot more.
We're here to tell you a fable.
A farm to fable.
Corn, I'm talking corn. When it's popping up in rows, it's just like Norman Rockwell.
Well, Shucked is turning musical theaters on its ear and is offering a kernel of hope for our divided nation. And we are thrilled to welcome some of the cast. Mickey Abraham, who plays Lulu, and Jake Oddmark, who plays Bo. Welcome, both of you, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having us.
Oh, absolutely. We talked a little off camera. I have to be honest, I was completely blown away by this incredible spot on production. Are you guys having the best time of your life?
Yeah, yeah. I actively say, like I truly feel like I'm living a dream like every day that I get to go to work. It's my favorite show that I've ever been involved in. And
Right.
I feel like our company is such a great company that was put together like so carefully and thoughtfully. And I think we just like vibe really well together. So there's like the work part of it and also the fact that I feel like we just all really love each other, which is very lucky.
It's such a beautiful blessing, this show specifically, but also this production specifically, because it is the first national tour. And it's such a privilege to be able to take a show that I think is meant to tour across America more than it is to play New York. And I think that was always the plan. And
Yeah.
these are the first audiences to get to see it. And so every single night, there's that kind of energy of like, what is this show? There's kind of an enigma, the way that we promote it. You see a corn cob on a sign, you don't know anything else, but that's on purpose. We want people to kind of come in not knowing, because we feel like it's a privilege to not know characters, not know this story, not be a remake of a movie. It's a original story, and that's rare these days. And this is the first production to tour. And so it's really such a privilege for us. And I think it's also reciprocated in the audience every night.
So it's a comedic tale centered around Reno corn, but tell our viewers without telling too much about what they can expect.
Jake, take it away. You got
All
this.
right. Well,
You got
as
it.
I said, we on purpose don't delve too much into the plot, right? Like we don't necessarily think I think keeping the plot a little bit of a secret is probably on purpose, just because if we told you that it's about a small town where the corn dies and they have to take risks for the first time, maybe leave their community to go save their corn, maybe it's not something that's going to grab you necessarily. But we obviously, now that you've seen it, Phyllis, we know that there's something a lot more. There's more depth there. It's about community. It's about family, but more importantly, it knows what it is, and it's a one, probably the funniest show that I've ever been a part of. And most people who see it say it's the funniest show they've ever seen. And it's a show that knows what it is. It's going to make you laugh. It's going to make you feel things and relate to the characters. And it's going to make you, all of a sudden, it's going to catch up with you in the end. You're going to feel tears in your eyes. And you're going to go, what? I thought I was just laughing at all these corny dad jokes and these, double entendres. But really, it's written so well. It's about community, and it's about trusting another and not necessarily thinking that your bubble knows best. And I think there's never been a better time to do that, especially in a way that it's done so comedically and so lightheartedly. It's such a perfect show, in my opinion.
So I've been with the show for almost 3 years, and I watched one of the scenes last night for the first time in a really long time, and I was like belly laughing, like it's like in the wings. I was watching it. I was like, this is so funny. I've seen this so many times. Like I've heard this so many times, but it's still just genuinely so funny.
Now, what are 3 words? I know this is going to be hard. 3 words that best describe this production.
Ooh, that's a good question,
Only
Phyllis.
3.
Best describe this production. I would say heart, first and foremost. I would say family, and I would say whiskey.
Okay.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm. Yeah, I was gonna say hope, bravery, and dirty.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, so if you were to change anything in the production, would there be anything that you would change or take out or put in?
It's funny. Robert is such a, he's such an amazing writer, but he also gets bored so easily with his own writing that he texts us new jokes on a daily basis. He, in the rehearsal process, we would do things as actors, and he would say, "Oh, that's hilarious. Put it in." And so in a way, the show was always changing as we were doing it, and it feels, even though we've been doing it's been frozen now for a few months now, it still feels so live and new that it could change at any day. And so in a way, it almost feels weird to even say if we could change anything, because it feels like it probably will, or it's still doing that. It's super live. It's also a testament to Jack O'Brien, our director. He like really knows how to get the best out of the comedy. The writing obviously is one thing, but this material is funny because it's true. You know,
Yeah.
it's because these things, we don't have to do anything other than say these lines and mean them. And they come out hilariously because of how they're written, but they're delivered in a way that Jack says, you know, we have our best intentions. Our intentions are completely altruistic. And then you say something and you realize after the fact that it's funny, and it surprises us because we meant what we said. So in a way, you know, it feels like every night the show could change based on the audience, based on, you know, the different tracks, the different actors who come in and out of the show, you know, on a nightly basis. And so, yeah, I don't think that I would change anything because it feels like it already is.
Yeah, I was gonna say what is so cool about this show as opposed to other ones that I've done is that because it's original and it's not based on anything and we're not like beholden to a already established text,
Right.
we every company, a different mix of people, like it's a different show. Like this version of the show that we are touring is not the show we were doing on Broadway. Like it is different. It's completely different. Like separate from the fact that like some of like there's like a song or two that have changed, but apart from that, I mean, even with like the way the text is like communicated and the new jokes that were written for the person that's playing the role now as opposed to the person who's playing it on Broadway, it's so it was like Jake was saying, like it's like a collaborative effort already. So like
Yeah.
there'd be some jokes that Robert would give us, and I know that I'm guilty of it. Like I would get it and I was like, ooh, I like the line you wrote but first better. And then he would be like, okay, we'll try it. And then he'd be like, okay, choose the one you like. Like it was very much collaborative the whole way.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, I think this is our show. Like
Yeah.
we made it you know, to work for this group. And I think that's really great.
So different audiences every night, different cities. So are they similar or not similar? Have there been some strange audiences or audiences that, you know, sometimes even comedians, they get out and they get on stage and there's no laughter and you're just like, that's literally the worst thing for any comedian or any actor. Have you guys had any run-ins on audiences that were, you know, kind of sleeping or something?
They're so different. I wouldn't say we've never had, I don't think that we've had any bad, you know, like quiet audiences or anything like
Mhm.
that. But it is really interesting. And what this is like the privilege that I speak of in that to go into each community and see which ones trigger what, right? You know, see
Right.
which jokes, which comments. Sometimes it's not even the jokes. It's like there's certain communities where a certain, you know, if we talk about, you know, church or there's another company or another community that if we do all the drinking jokes and stuff like
Or
that,
like all the marriage
tell
jokes.
marriage
Like,
jokes, you know, and you can tell
yeah.
which ones really hit home in which
Yeah.
city.
Right.
Um, and also, like I said, because this is a new show and nobody knows it, it's every single night, it feels like a microcosm of what happened on Broadway, where the show opened on Broadway, no one really knew about it, and little
Mhm.
by little, it spread like wildfire until it was the talk of the town and it was everywhere. And that happens on a nightly basis in every single city. People
Wow.
come in and you can tell they have no idea what they're about to see. They're sitting there with their arms crossed and they're
Right.
kind of looking around, what is this corn thing? And by the end, they're leaning forward, they have tears in their eyes, they're probably two or three drinks in. And
Right.
it's such a privilege because we get to go through that every single night.
It's Kentucky and it's Kansas, yeah, it's corn.
Like the lazy dentist said, brace yourself.
When we get to heaven, we won't need to mourn. Just as long as those streets are paved with corn.
This isn't an argument. I'm right, and you're just saying things.
A thriller and a true story. Actress Dana Delaney tells us more about her recent project, Highway Patrol.
How do you know that song? That is from way before your time.
I like songs from the 70s the best.
You're just an old soul.
Did you get any good food from set tonight?
Mm-hmm. Cold pizza from the crew wrap. Yum.
Ooh, that's naughty. Pizza at 2 a.m.
Pizza and a glass of rosé. I'm really naughty.
Sometimes it's fun to be a rebel, Miss Delaney.
You're right, it is. You are my 2 a.m. rebel.
Highway Patrol, it's a true story, a thriller, a love story, and all crafted through hundreds of tweets and DMs. And we are honored to have joining us Emmy Award-winning actress Dana Delaney. We are so happy to be here. We're so happy that you're here.
I'm happy to be in Chicago at the Goodman.
So, you know, some say thriller, some say love story, but it's your story.
It is my story, all true.
So without giving too much away,
Yes.
tell our audience a little bit about what they will expect to see on the show.
Well, I was on the show Body of Proof starting in 2011, and ABC had asked me to go on Twitter, which I'd never been on before. So I developed a relationship with this young boy who was having some health issues. But also you get to come see what it's like to be on a TV show, you know, where you're working really hard hours, long hours, you don't have no life whatsoever.
None.
So it's kind of a behind, well, you know, but it's kind of a behind the scenes of the reality of what it is like to be on a television show on a weekly basis.
Everything on stage, like we talked about, is real. How does it feel telling your story?
It's a little scary. I was, you know, I'm kind of a private person, so I was a little hesitant to do it. But I feel like it's also a universal story, and ultimately it's about love, and I think everybody can relate to that. And we live in such a lonely time right now in the world and in our country, and everybody's online, and everybody's having these relationships online, and we're not really talking to each other.
Right.
And it's hard, so I think it's kind of a story of our time.
So how long have you been working on this? How long did it take to put it all together?
About 5 years. I did a play with my co-creators in New York, and I was planning to do it as a one-woman show because I had saved everything.
Okay.
And then I just happened to tell them a story on a train ride, and they were like, "Could we be involved with that?" And I was, "Yeah, you guys are really good, so please, yes, this will be much better than my one-woman show."
The viewers, the fans, they all know you from TV, from Desperate Housewives, from China Beach, Body of Proof. So do you have the theater bug now?
Well, I started in theater in New York, which is, you know, when I was young, that's what you were supposed to do. You know, you started in theater, you started in New York, you honed your craft, and maybe you did movies. You never did television. That was very frowned upon.
Really?
Yes, and the world's now changed.
Right.
But,
It's like reversed,
it's reversed,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, no, I love doing theater, but it's a lot harder. I have friends my age who will not do theater. It's just, takes a lot of energy, it's a lot of memorization, live audience every night. You never know what's going to happen. Right. I find that for whatever reason, this play gets a lot of vocal reaction from the audience. And I don't think it's Chicago. I just think it's this play. And so it's interesting.
Each night, different audiences, different, like, do you feel the energy?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, it changes night to night completely. Yeah.
Has there ever been any of the nights that, like, something really strange happened?
Yeah, well, you know what's funny is in the beginning, people did not know anything about the story, so it was a little more raucous.
Right.
I think now that some of the word has gone out about the story, people are a little bit more on the edge of their seat, like what's going to happen, you know, but it just changes night to night.
Or some of these people, I know we've talked to others that obviously do live theater, and they're just like, you know, people don't shut their phones off, and they're
Well,
like...
yeah, but like the last show we did on Sunday, some woman yelled out, "Thank you!" And I was like, and because I talk directly to the audience, I have to acknowledge that. If you're going to talk to the audience, you have to expect them to talk back.
Now, how did you come up with the name Highway Patrol?
That was Jen Silverman, our writer. She had wanted that right from the beginning. And it has a double meaning, but you know, you have to think of the information highway.
Thank you for spending part of your day with us, and we'll see you right back here next week. I'm Front Row Phyllis, and this is The Entertainment Zone.